Hey everyone, I'm Kalen from White and Revery. We get asked a lot about our audio setups at weddings, so I wanted to share with you the gear that we use, how we set up and how we connect to either a speaker or how we actually connect to a receiver for a wireless signal at a wedding, and then kind of run you through a little bit of the settings on the gear that we have. Now, when choosing a recorder for toasts or anything to tap into a sound system, there are two things that you want to consider whenever you're looking for a recorder. The first thing is that it can have dual recording, and then also that it has a mic and line input option so that you don't have to use some kind of XLR coupler and have like a dB pad to actually tone down a mic signal. What we're using is the Tascam DR-44WL. Now what's really great about this is this has dual recording. What that means is whenever we are recording and we have somebody that's speaking really loud in a microphone and then somebody that's a little bit further back, we actually have two different signals. It records at a regular level and then also records a lower level so that we can cut to that in case it's clipping on the mic. Also, the really great feature that we love is the mic and line level right here, where we can actually make a switch between our mic and line level signal so that whenever we're recording, we don't have to use any kind of external device to get that signal properly attenuated. We can actually use it straight into the recorder. Now, I'm gonna show you the cables that we use. We have a bag that we bring with us for every wedding, and inside it we have one XLR cable, and this is just about 6 feet long, I believe. And then we have a 1/4 inch to XLR cable. This is an adapter so that we can always connect to possibly the receiver whenever we're working with a wireless signal. And then we also have 1/4 inch to 1/8 inch so that we can get to those random speaker systems that only have this as an option. Also, we have this new cable that we've actually been loving. These are 2 male XLRs along with 1 female XLR, and that allows us to get the most dynamic range out of an audio signal when we're recording and we don't have time to go back and adjust our levels. And I will show you later on how we do that, but we will actually use that into both inputs on here. And what will be really great about this is we can set one level to be higher and one level to be lower, and then there's also backups of each one of those signals. So we actually get 4 signals from one input, so that if someone's speaking really loud and they're just cranking out the volume, or if they're really quiet and they're just kind of talking a little bit further away from the mic, I will be able to capture optimal audio signal with this cable. So that is really great as we're considering that. Also, one extra little bitty hack that we have in our bag is we have right here this little Velcro piece, and it attaches to a little screw on the back. You can see right here probably. And we actually just attach this to the back of our recorder and just kind of screw that in. And what's really convenient about that is then I can take this and I can actually attach this to the pole whenever we're recording audio, so I can easily access it whenever I'm connecting to the speaker. So that is a handy little hack that we use to keep everything really optimized and minimal whenever we're setting up for our audio at weddings. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the sound system and just show real quick. There are 2 different ways that we like to hook up to the sound system. Usually if we meet with the DJ, the most consistent setup that we use is we actually plug in straight to the back of the speaker system. The reason for that is in most scenarios, I'm getting pretty good signal from this. If I had the option to connect into the wireless receiver and output a signal, then I can actually use that if I have multiple cables. If I have one cable, I'll go straight from the receiver and I'll go into my recorder, and then I will have the toasts, I will have any first dance music, anything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you really quick how we set up. Real quick, we're just checking the volume. So we have signal coming into this first channel. Usually I meet with the DJ and I ask him first, hey, can you give me a good signal? And just make sure that I'm getting the proper signal flow into my recorder. So once I have good signal, I'll go ahead and grab my, my recorder. I will plug up my XLR cable right here, and I will just run that into this coupler. Okay, so we're gonna run the coupler into this XLR cable. I'm gonna put this in both the channels on the DR-44WL, and then I'm going to attach this into the post gain the mix out. So any kind of output, I'm gonna go ahead and connect into that on the speaker. And the reason for the speaker is because sometimes I like to use the audio from the dances. I also wanna have some for the toasts. Sometimes it overlaps though, and that's why it's good to sometimes tap into the wireless receiver if you have that option. That's why I have every adapter. In this case, 1/4 inch to XLR, just plug it into the unbalanced high, and then I can actually plug this into my recorder as well. In this case, we're just gonna plug into here. We'll look for an output. Also, I don't have to go and bug the DJ to make sure, hey, is my signal good? I can kind of control it from my end. Also, if the DJ screws up and the audio dips or something like that, yes, we do have bad audio from that moment, but also the couple knows that, hey, there was audio issues, that's not on us. Now we do want to try to control that as much as possible, but that is something to consider. When you're going out for this, you are working off of what the DJ is sending you, but in most cases, in almost all the weddings we've worked in, never had one issue yet. So we're gonna go ahead and turn on a recorder. So once it comes on, we're gonna go ahead and set our levels. Now since we're recording, these are actually channel 3 and 4. Don't get that confused with 1 and 2. I actually showed up at a wedding, the first wedding, and thought that this was 1 and 2, when in case this is actually the external microphones right here. So we have 2 signals coming in. We're gonna go ahead and arm it, push record on, and then what we're gonna do is you can see that only the 3rd channel right now is actually armed. Now, in order to arm both of them, you actually have to hold down 3 and 4 at the same time, and now they are armed. And then on the side, right here, we can actually go ahead and click the input button and then select channel 3, and then we can set our levels. Let's go ahead and chat in this microphone and give it a good test. Test 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm getting a little bit of signal, which is really great. Now the first channel I want to have really hot. So let's go ahead and raise that up. And if you get a signal and it's really loud, then go ahead and make sure you switch to line input instead of mic input. Mic is going to be a hotter signal. Another little trick is if you've maxed out your line input at 24 here on mine, keep going. It actually will increase the audio. It's a little bit of glitch on this that I noticed, so keep upping the volume if you want a hotter signal from that. Let's go ahead and switch to mic and see what that looks like. Check 1, 2, so I get a hot signal. Let's bring it back down. Check 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey, hey. All right, we got a good signal right there. Now I'm gonna go ahead and crank this one up because this is gonna be my volume for when someone's really quiet and they're way down here. Test 1, 2. So I have a very hot signal right here, and then I'm gonna switch to input 4, and now I'm gonna set that one. So I set channel 4 at a pretty good, decent level, because that one I'm gonna use as my lower signal. When someone's really loud and they're just cranking it out and it's possibly clipping, I will have a backup audio signal. So when someone's talking really loud and when someone's talking really quiet, you're able to capture that entire range all with one cable and one signal coming into this external recorder. So that is a really great hack if you want to make sure that you're capturing all the different volume levels and you don't have time to go change it in between different people that are giving toasts or vows. Once I have this set up and the volume's good, I'll just go ahead and make sure that I attach it to the pole of the speaker so that it looks clean, and I can also access it. So just attach it right there, and then I just turn this back around, and I can walk up during the actual toast, come over here, arm it, and then I can also check the volumes and just look at it to make sure everything is actually recording. So that is how we set up all of our audio at weddings. Most of the time we're recording straight from a speaker, or we're tapping into a wireless unit if we can. I went over the actual recorders that we use, the Tascam DR-44WL. I'll have a link in the description along with all the cables and adapters if you're interested. Remember, the 2 features that you really want to consider at weddings whenever you're recording audio is you want a recorder that has dual recording options and also has a mic line level option. That way you can actually get all the different functionality you need in one recorder without using any kind of external adapters or DB pads. Also, I went over the cables that we used and all the different adapters to make sure that you're covered on a wedding day. Depending on what gear you're given, you will be able to capture great audio. If you have any further questions, just hit us up in the comments and let us know. If you want to see more films, make sure you go ahead and subscribe so that you don't miss another film. I'm Kalen from White and Revery. Thanks for watching.